What's that one product that is completely worth your money? A good frying pan. Lasts for years and the quality of food I can cook with it is so much better. Also much easier to clean. My cast iron frying pan was my great-grandmother's. She got it in 1917 when she got married. A cab rider rides share when you're drunk. As the homeowner, I can't say it enough. A wet, dry vacuum monsieur. New homeowner here, mind selling me on it? You can vacuum anything with it, car interior, garage floor, liquid spill, pretty much anything that's on the ground will go into it. Then you just take the top off and pour the contents into trash bag, box or whatever you want. It's a more rugged vacuum than indoor household type. After seeing how many people keep shit stored in 10-year-old random cardboard boxes in their garage or a laundry room, I am gonna say storage tubs. They are hardly expensive, uniform in size, stack well, and aren't going to deteriorate if they get a bit wet. A good mattress and pillow, a crock-pot and a rice cooker. They were both around $35 and I use them a few times a week. A crock-pot is my best cooking buddy. It's literally all I use to make dinners. A quality chef knife. All of the knives my mom has are cheap, shitty knives she picked up from auctions. She was perplexed why I spent $100 on a wussed-off chef's knife that could slice through anything with minimal effort rather than having to saw through stuff. My family isn't allowed to touch my knife because I don't trust them to use or clean it properly. Edit. As explained by many people below, putting good knives in the dishwasher is a bad idea for many reasons, including the hot humid air, lots of moving things, and abrasive dishwashing detergent. If you have a chef's knife, or basically any knife that you actually care about, wash it by hand, with soap and hot water. Don't let it sit in the water though. Just run it through the water a couple of times and scrub with a sponge or cloth. Edit 2. If you want to sharpen a knife, have it professionally sharpened or use a sharpening stone. Don't use electric sharpeners because those degrade the knife over time. Edit 3. Yes, I know all forms of sharpening knives degrade them over time, but you know what I mean. Rechargeable batteries for Xbox controllers. I couldn't even begin to estimate how much I've saved over the years. Well made, bruh. Can't tell if you're surfer bro. Congratulating op for this poster talking about the female undergarment. 3 good pairs of scissors. 1 for clothes, 1 for paper and 1 for the kitchen. This saves so much time and aggravation. And label the fabric ones so people don't use them to cut anything else. The assholes. Yes. Or hide them like my mom did when we were kids. My mom sewed clothes for us when we were growing up, and she always hid her sewing scissors so we did not use them to make our paper book covers or cut out magazine articles about Davy Jones. A good and comfortable chair to your desk, especially when you plan to sit there a lot for studying or if your John requires you to sit. It will spare you a lot of back pain. Edit. John sadly no longer wants me to sit. I exchange him for asterisk job. Your John A. Smirking face. I find my Johns rarely require me to sit. I will never require you to sit. That's because you're not in charge here. Good pair of shoes. I would say quality clothing in general is worth it. I used to buy the cheapest clothing I could get, e.g. t-shirts, pants, shoes, underwear, and they predictably wore out quickly. And then I'd be left with shitty, worn-down clothing. Now that I'm older, I discovered that paying extra is definitely worth it for your clothing. I've had underwear, shorts, pants that last for years, and remain in excellent shape, rather than a few pathetic months. Edit. Let me just say that you don't have to spend your life savings on clothing, as some have pointed out that they have bought cheap clothing that has lasted for years. This is entirely possible. There are so many brands in clothing out there that it's entirely possible that that cheap discount store or wherever else has great clothing for cheap. It's just that in my own personal experience, paying a bit more is usually worth it. If you have someplace where you can buy cheap and durable clothing that you love, then by all means keep going with it. The Samuel Fimes Boots theory of socioeconomic unfairness. The reason that the rich were so rich, Fimes' reason, was because they managed to spend less money. Take Boots, for example. He earned $38 a month plus allowances. A really good pair of leather boots cost $50, but an affordable pair of boots, which were sort of okay for a season or two and then leaked like hell when the cardboard gave out, cost about $10. Those were the kind of boots Fimes always bought and wore until the soles were so thin that he could tell where he was in Ankh-Morpork on a foggy night by the feel of the cobbles. But the thing was that good boots lasted for years and years. A man who could afford $50 had a pair of boots that'd still be keeping his feet dry in 10 years' time, while the poor man who could only afford cheap boots would have spent $100 on boots in the same time and would still have wet feet. This was the Captain Samuel Fimes Boots theory of socioeconomic unfairness. The right mattress can completely change your life. Everything in life can be affected by your sleep quality. I'd say start there. Birth control. Myself is all the birth control I need. Silver edit. Happy Singles Awareness Day everyone. Socks. Despite the expense and the inconvenience of obtaining them, there is nothing that compares to the feeling of wearing warm, dry socks. I worked 50% outside and 50% inside for years in the northeast of the U.S. Winter time was always a challenge to keep my feet warm and dry. The thick of a sock and my feet would sweat while inside, then freeze when I would go back outside. When I met my wife, she bought me a pair of $25 smart wool socks and I scoffed at her like she was crazy for spending that much on a single pair of socks. It only took one day of wearing them at work to make me understand that they were worth every penny. So far, all the comments I'm seeing are regarding pooping, eating and sleeping. It really does just come back to basics, doesn't it? One sharp, well-tailored suit for work and formal occasions. After that you can just change up your shirt, trousers and tie and you'll still look impressive. I would just say 2 suits, so that you can at least go back and forth, along with changing up the accessories. It's a better impressions, and would let you rotate them for cleaning. Source. Had to wear a suit and tie for work back in the day. Now it's casual everything. An electric tire inflator for $29.95. It's so convenient to add air to the tires where you live rather than going to gas station air pumps, especially in winter weather. Better yet, spend $60 on a jump starter that has a compressor built in. That way, you're set in case of needing a jump start. 2. Bread from a bakery instead of regular stuff on the grocery store shelf. Particularly if you can get it still warm from the oven, or at least very fresh. Or bake your own bread. It can be tricky, but nothing beats the feeling of eating bread that you made yourself. Tastes like satisfaction. A good under-sink home toolkit if you don't have one already. I can say as a newly married 20-something it was the most useful gift my father-in-law got me. My bidet. Best $35 I've ever spent. I still remember the first time I used a quality bidet in Korea. It was at a high-end hotel in Seoul for my brother's wedding. The first time I used it, the pressure of the water jet was too intrusive. I wasn't so used to something penetrating into my ass. The pressure was so firm and that it was too much for my virgin ass. Then the next time I used it, I lowered the pressure and just let it warm up. Oh Lord, it was like the god of toilet licking my butt. So warm and gentle. Afterward, I used the air dryer. That was arguably the best steam of air blown into my ass. On the third time, I was able to let my ass open and fully accept the routine. It was godsend. I wish I can afford one. Edit. Thanks for the gold and silver. I'm proud of the experience I had while I was staying at the hotel. My then GF made fun of my discoveries. But she's also a believer. Many of you had suggested sheep bidets. I'm considering to try them this year, however. I want to make sure that I get the right temperature immediately. You don't want to sneak attack Uranus with cold-ass water. Once Uranus clenches, you can't get deep cleansing. First few times will be tough, especially for straight men. It doesn't feel good to have Uranus probed by a finger of toilet god. Once you let yourself accept the reality, Uranus won't go back to rough toilet paper. I've got one of the $400 ones and it's godly. Greater than $400 ones. You must be the king of the toilet realm with a butthole like a delicate flower petal. Edit. Thank you for the gold you, Black Cat 1111 smiling face with smiling eyes. You got that right, Majumbo. Prescription sunglasses. A shoehorn. The tall ones are $1 and let you put your shoes on without hurting your back or ruining the backup. Your shoes. Dad, is that you? If it was Dad, he would also be recommending shoe trees. A toothbrush. It is literally life-saving and can prevent you a whole world of pain in both your body and wallet. Bonus points if you brush twice a day and floss. You get an even more satisfying clean feel after using an electric toothbrush. I hated brushing before I tried one. Brooks bicycle saddles. Once they break in, they're by far the most comfortable saddle you'll use. It's like an old baseball glove for your ass. Lovely imagery, that. Good pizza at a mom-and-pop shop, instead of a 2-for-1 coupon for Papa John's. Real pizza and fake pizza are very different. Sometimes I'm craving real pizzeria pizza for $18 a pie, and sometimes I'm craving a $5.99 pie from the Domino's down the street. Same toppings, both delicious, totally different tastes. Edit. I am from the NYNJ Court area and I literally walked out of the best pizza place in town with a 2-topping large pie and mozzarella sticks for $32. For those questioning me on an $18 pie, I think you just described pizza when sober versus pizza when drunk. A good pair of in-ear headphones. Nothing beats listening to music on high quality. I've still got wired cause your boys still speakin' broke. Edit. Lots of people asking for a recommendation. I've personally got Patron BS10. They're sub $20 and really good. Honestly, I prefer wired over wireless any day of the week. The quality will always be better at equal price points. Frankly, the quality will be better at unequal price points too. A 3.5mm jack is just higher fidelity than the lossy compression necessitated by wireless. Edit. For Bluetooth. Also, BT headphones usually have lousy drivers and low impedance, so they will have better battery life. Edit 2. Wireless makes a compelling case for over-ear. But when it comes to buds, wired is still king. Wireless buds have lousy DACs and low impedance. Muddled drivers. You're specifying in-ear, but for high-quality sound and comfort, wouldn't over-ear be better? 10,000% yes. Particularly comfort, but also sound. Anything designed to go between you and the ground. Shoes. Bike or motorcycle helmet, mattress, car tires. Get good quality. Tongue scraper. Once you use one and see all the brown gunk that sits on your tongue, you will never want to go back. Try something like the tongue brush for even better results. It's like a wide, low-profile toothbrush, so no gag reaction. Don't buy their gel though. Just use mouthwash or water. You'll know it's effective when you see how pink your tongue is and how food actually tastes better. A friend of mine tried to tell me that you can't brush your tongue. That's not how your tongue works. I respectfully disagreed, having seen all the shit that comes off of my tongue when I use the tongue scraper on my toothbrush. And yes, everything tastes so much fuller and richer when you scrape the crap off your tongue. Toilet paper. I used to live with a guy who worked at a toilet paper mill. He got free triple ply and oh my god, is that stuff amazing. A good power strip. Don't buy the cheapest one. That's how you burn down your house. The real advice is that more people to need learn how much power they can draw from one circuit. Are you telling me daisy chaining power strips doesn't boost the allowable amperage? No. What y'all gotta do is plug one into itself and turn it on. That way you can also save on the power bill. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.